Dollar stores aren't just for those shopping with a tight budget anymore. Even six-figure earners are starting to pile in. Time to bring in friend of the show, consumer expert Morgan Ward. Welcome back to the show, Morgan. How you doing?
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, we got these high-income shoppers now starting to pull up at dollar stores. How does that change the way working families feel about shopping there?
Well, I think that what's happening is that people, working families and more affluent customers are starting to be really aware of and concerned about how they're spending their money. And so as much as 2/3 of the new dollar store consumers are actually people who make over $100,000. And my guess is that probably working class families feel some affinity towards the fact that other people who are in better financial positions, but still are concerned, are also shopping in the same place. It's less stigmatizing in a lot of ways when there's both high income and lower income shoppers in one place.
Yeah, so it becomes a little bit more socially acceptable across the board then?
Yeah, it democratizes in some ways shopping in a lower tier store.
Yeah, we understand that shoppers are saying that going to grocery stores feel overwhelming. It's too many choices and too much stress.
Yeah, it's really true. People make tons of decisions every day, probably up to 50 just normal everyday decisions, but adding on top of that, the grocery store decisions, which, you see new products, these products have new labels, we see more and more types of products, and so people are getting what they call aisle anxiety, meaning that as they're shopping and they're wanting to make good choices and they want to spend their money well, they're starting to feel real anxiety and spending more and more time trying to make optimal choices, as much as I think 4 minutes on each product, some people report. So it's becoming kind of a stressful experience buying your food.
Wow. So like the labels, you mentioned labels like organic or low fat, does it make it easier or just more confusing?
The labels make it easier if the meaning is very obvious. So things like sustainable or green can actually be pretty abstract concepts. You don't know exactly what they mean. And so those kinds of labels where you can't figure out exactly what this label is telling you and what you should infer from it make those decisions even harder, because you have to sort of do some guesswork about what does green really mean,
Absolutely. Shoppers say they feel that they want to be more sustainable, or they want more sustainability, but when the prices are tight, does that usually win out?
Well, what it looks like is that it doesn't win out as much as you would think. So there's something called the attitude behavior gap, where people endorse that they would do something like buy a sustainable product, buy an environmentally friendly product, but then when the rubber hits the road, meaning when they're actually about to make the choice, they opt for something cheaper. And you can imagine in an economy like ours, where people have a lot of uncertainty about their own wealth and what they can do with their finances, that when you're making these kind of decisions that you end up prioritizing something like spending less money rather than doing something sort of good for the world, which feels much more abstract.
All right, Morgan, thanks so much for your insight. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, have a great day.